1 month later with the Snapdragon powered Asus Zenbook A14, let's find out who this laptop's actually for. Yo, what's really good, people? It's man like Jamo. We're out here 2 months later with the Asus Zenbook A14. Now, just as a transparency statement, Asus borrowed me this laptop literally just for this review, and after the review done, this laptop gets picked up by Asus and this video goes out without Asus seeing it. Now, without any further ado, let's get on to what the specs are saying. Now, long story short, we're looking at mid-range to high range in terms of the specs. We've got a Snapdragon X processor in there, which is supposed to be stupidly good with the battery, 16 gigabytes of RAM, terabyte of SSD as standard. We've got Wi-Fi 6E in there, I believe, and we've got that Qualcomm NPU for doing all the AI tasks, which I'm still yet to see the point of, but you know, it's in there doing its thing. And for the integrated GPU, we've got that Adreno X145, which isn't really the strongest that Qualcomm have to offer, but it is able to get a couple of games in there sideways at very low resolutions and very low graphical settings. So let's get onto the design. Now, I don't know what it is, but this laptop actually looks kind of stylish. The way it's got these rounded edges here, everything is mad smooth, and it is super lightweight to the point where you can literally hold it in one hand without feeling much fatigue. You got the one Asus Zenbook logo just there in the middle. On the back, pretty much standard procedure. You got a little grill here for the fan and stuff like that, and you got the little screw ports all over the place there. Might pop it open later actually, see what's going on underneath the hood. Now, moving on to display, as you can see, we've got that glossy OLED goodness, fam, but we've got the cost saving and battery saving thing going on here, because we're only going up to 1200p maximum, 1080p by 1200, because it's a 16 by 10 aspect ratio, and we're going up to 60 hertz maximum as well with the refresh rate. So yeah, as I said, maximum power savings, maximum battery saving, and it helps on the cost as well. So as for the ports, on the right hand side, you got HDMI 2.1, you got two USB-C 4.0 ports rated at 40 gigabit transfer speeds, and you got a 3.5mm combination headphone and microphone jack. And on the other side, you've literally just got one USB-A port there, which is at least rated at 10 gigabits per second. So it's USB 3.2 Gen 2. But apart from that, you've only got one, and that's like literally the only port on the opposite side. Now, again, I feel like I have to say, fam, this feels stupidly lightweight, but it's a premium lightweight situation going on here where it does feel expensive. It's just like, I don't know, carbon fiber or something. I don't even know what the material is. It just feels really good in the hand, fam. Now, obviously, moving on to keyboard and mouse pad, I feel, yeah, trackpad feels kind of nice, box standard, does kind of feel smooth like the rest of the laptop actually. Keyboard feels kind of good as well. You got the little chiclet style keys. They got a nice little click to them, not too bad. Definitely easy enough for me to type up a document on them and stuff like that. I feel like they're a good size. No issues with it, to be honest. I'd say it's definitely good enough for doing your productivity tasks, your video editing. Love the fact that you got a hotkey for the emoji button there as well. So, you know, you don't have to press the Windows key plus the full stop button. And then, yeah, you got some other toggles for screen brightness, keyboard brightness, and volume and stuff like that as well. So, yeah, decent shortcuts and usability of the keypad and the key tracker thing, this little mouse tracker pad, whatever you want to call it. Now, in terms of software, obviously, we've got that young Windows 11. You haven't got too much bloatware going on here. You got the normal stuff, like you got McAfee, you've got, don't know what Screen Expert is, don't know what Glide X is, probably will get rid of those. Don't think you've got too much more bloatware going on here. You got My Asus, which I can have a little look at in a second, but pretty much decent. I don't know what StoryCube is. That's another bit of bloatware that you've got there. Apart from that, we're pretty much good on the bloatware front, fam. Like we're up and running, not too much stuff for me to have to delete. Now, I thought we'd just do a little Wi-Fi speed test just to show you guys what's really good with the Wi-Fi card here. This is in the same room as my Wi-Fi 6E router, and my megabytes go up to 900, I think, and I think it should go up to about 110 in terms of upload speed on my ISP. So yeah, we're pretty much getting over Wi-Fi the maximum that my ISP is offering in terms of speed wise. So yeah, definitely a good Wi-Fi chip in here. Now, speaking of internet, I wanted to see what the game streaming situation was like. So I hopped into Xbox Game Pass games for PC, and I noticed that you actually get some free Xbox Games Pass just for picking up this PC in the first place, fam, which I think is actually kind of cool. I didn't think you'd get that. Wow, you get 3 months as well, fam. I thought that was literally just for gaming PCs, but it looks like regardless of the ting, even if it's an Asus PC like this, you get a nice little piece of 3 months of Xbox Game Pass for Windows. So yeah, no, definitely decent there. Now, speaking of Wi-Fi speeds, let's get on to some game streaming, because with them Wi-Fi speeds and that connection, game streaming feels like you're playing games natively on the laptop. You can see me playing Power World in the background there. The movement, the latency, it's all feeling like I'm playing the game installed on the laptop itself, fam. Even when man jumps onto a little bit of a heavier game, like, oh, I can't remember what this game is called, something of the planet, Savage Planet, or whatever it's called, fam, graphics are looking good, latency is looking good, everything, movement, action, feeling nice, fam. But let's get on to some actual games which are installed on the system itself. Now, Asus obviously make very competitive and sick gaming laptops. This is not one of them, fam. If you're gonna play games on this, you're gonna have to play the type of indie games which don't actually require that much graphical power. I'm talking Minecraft. Right now you can see me playing Tunic. Tunic runs fine, fam. Tunic gives me 60 frames per second. It's a kind of Zelda-like game. Even if I move on to Death's Door, another Zelda-like game, which is very similar to Tunic, a kind of top-down, not really 2D but kind of 3D action title, those kind of titles are gonna run perfectly. And any 2D side scroller like Sonic, for example, or maybe like a Metroidvania like Castlevania or something like that, those games you're not gonna have an issue, and you can run as many indie games as you like. However, when you get onto the heavier 3D titles like Fallout 4, especially because Fallout 4 is a heavy 3D title which is open world, that is where that Adreno X145 is gonna start struggling, fam. And if you move on to a more modern game like God of War for PlayStation 5, yeah, it's gonna, I even got a cutout here where the game just went, nah, we can't push on this machine kind of thing. So yeah, it depends what type of games you're playing. You can get a couple of games done, but if you want that heavy AAA gaming, you're gonna have to either game stream or go for a heavier gaming laptop. Almost forgot to say that the speakers are kind of decent too. Like, they're not really anything mad special, but yeah, they're okay. They'll get the job done if you don't have any headphones or any external speakers attached. Anyway, have a listen yourself.
Yeah, you've heard that one too.
Blah, blah,
Yeah,
blah.
I gotta go
He's
anyway.
trying to get you a coffee.
Got my coffee.
Oh, God, I can't believe this happened again. Nobody laugh at Frank and stare at Frank. He's like a younger brother to me, you guys.
Now on to the battery. Long story short, and I'm sure you guys are already aware, every selection and decision Asus has made with this laptop is because of that battery longevity. The screen only goes up to 1080p, the refresh rate only goes up to 60 Hz, it's OLED as well, fam. Like, everything leads to that longer battery life, hence why the graphics processing isn't as strong as it could be. And that processor, whilst it is very brilliant for everyday tasks, it's super power sipping, super efficient, and that's exactly what you need on a laptop like this if you don't want to be plugged in every single day, everywhere you go. I think at the end of the day, the most important factor when getting this laptop is knowing what exactly you need to use it for. What are your laptop use cases? If it's heavy AAA gaming, get yourself a gaming laptop, because Asus does lots of them and they are wicked. Even though this can play some smaller, lower powered indie games, it's not a gaming laptop. However, for productivity, and I'm not talking video editing, but I'm talking web browsing, a little bit of Microsoft Office, word processing, Excel documents, stuff like that, sorting admin tasks, this laptop is definitely for that. It has more than enough power to do that, and it has more than enough power to do that throughout the day without needing to be charged, which is more than I can say for the majority of Windows laptops, which need to be plugged in every 2 to 4 hours, fam. So if you want that longevity and a battery you can actually trust when you're out and about, this is the laptop for it, especially with how light it is and the small 14-inch form factor, which allows you to get it in your bag with no issues. But let me know what your use case is in the comments section below. And of course, make sure you subscribe and like for more content like this.